Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Rise and Fall of LuLaRoe. And this is a new documentary and focuses on the multi-layer marketing scheme or Ponzi scheme, LuLaRoe. And basically this documentary kind of acts like your introduction to Ponzi schemes and does a fine job of setting up and explaining what these are, how they work, these multi-layer marketing schemes where it's like you have somebody who recruits other people, who recruit other people, who recruit other people to keep selling products, and you get a cut of those who you recruit, and it just keeps that whole entire thing going. Then you have LuLaRoe who make these leggings mostly, and like that's their brand. There's these crazy looking leggings that they create, and that's kind of like what they're known for. And you have their charismatic leaders, Mark and Deanne Stidham, and like Deanne's like the big personality at the front of it, who's just like convincing people and has this horribly toxic perspective of like, if you're not selling enough, it's because you don't want it that bad. And it's just like, oh, you know, I really want out of poverty. I must have wanted to not get out of poverty that much because I just didn't get out of poverty. I should have wished harder. So you have that kind of perspective, and this film captures that and captures how they focus on people who have tragedy in their lives, lost loved ones, and they have this very abusive relationship because they try to alienate you from everybody in your lives, and this whole entire thing is alienating because you're like constantly trying to convince people to get involved, and you're just like and the unfortunate thing of like, if you ever try to get out, they just disconnect from you at all and never want to talk to you again. And the film does a nice job pacing wise of like capturing the ebb and flow of this whole situation, you know, when they were really blasting off and when people were down on their luck. There's horrible stories in this film about like one young woman even talking about wanting to commit suicide at that point when they realized they were hitting rock bottom. And it's very interesting that you get these varying perspectives in this film because there's some people who are like, I would keep doing this. And they do keep doing it. There's one young black man who was brought in as like a dancer and performer and stuff like that for him. And like he talks about all the racism that he deals with, but like he gets over it because like he'd keep doing this thing and like he was their token. And he made a lot of success and money off of it. And how it's like some of these people are still defending the multi-layer marketing scheme and also still supporting LuLaRoe and being like, it wasn't that bad. I made a lot out of it. And you have these different kind of things throughout the film where it's like, you see the film and there's very minimal amount of the film that's focused on the poor people that are like putting these products together. It's mostly like the white middle-aged women that are recruited in for selling. And I think it would have been even more compelling if they spent a little bit more time with those that were just like doing the production and not really someone who's there actually selling the products. And then the ending, I felt like it didn't know when to just pull the plug and just wrap it up. There's, like, jokingly, it's like the Return of the King ending. It just kept going. And it didn't have, like, here's a resolution, we're done, let's move on. It just kept, like, what more things could I say? What more things can I rephrase and keep doing the same thing? And it's just, like, kind of just, like, wrap it up at this point. And you have, you know, there's moments where it's like they have overly dramatic music trying to like drum up the tension and the suspense in the film, where it's like it's not that kind of film, but like the music they utilize really tries to like make you feel like this is some kind of like crazy tense situation that you're dealing with. And in many ways it is that for some of these people that really got harmed by this whole situation. In the end, this is a pretty intriguing documentary. Like, there's nothing fancy about it. There's nothing interesting in terms of how the filmmaking is put together. You know, it's a quality documentary that for the most part has a good pacing, has a lot to say. and give some interesting perspectives on this whole situation from varying sides. So in the end, I think this is a really quality documentary to check out and, learn about a completely different company that you might not know of. But those are my thoughts on the rise and fall of LuLaRoe. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.